There you go. Okay, so my recording okay? All right, good. Just want to confirm. So this is the instructions that we're going to follow for the Power BI. So Power BI is just more of advanced analytical tools, created by Microsoft. So some people prefer Tabular, of course, is more powerful and you have to pay for. Actually, I think we have subscription if you're taking some of the courses. But Power BI is more useful, user-friendly, I should say, and easier to learn. So I think that's why it's kind of popular. But, this really depending on people and how to use. But I think there's some advantage of Power BI because we are using Excel, using Microsoft stuff, because the way they set up is very friendly towards, Windows users. So let's get started. So that's kind of supplemental to the chapter 12, which is analytics and information systems. And let's download the data file. Actually, I have it downloaded, which is financial. The file name is financial sample or something, right? Then we're going to start Power BI desktop version. We have a web version through, Campus GSW portal, but I think students are not accessible or something. But you can still download, okay, from Microsoft sites, which is given, an assignment section. So I have downloaded here Power BI desktop version. There you go. So just like other Microsoft interface, pretty straightforward. When you start, I think you should log in first so that you can save, retrieve, publish without any issue. So we're going to start from the blank report. So this is the workspace they provided. The main thing is you have a different view over this side. This is the report view so that you can generate the report toward the end. Then you have table view, which is your Excel sheet or whatever data you're going to import. Then is the model view, that how your data are organized. Sometimes you want to have a connected, just like a database. So they are kind of, trying to learn from the database. And other views like DAX is more programming, oriented so that you can create a more powerful formulas and some of those stuff that need more attention. So typically we're going to go back and forth between table and report view. So we're going to load the data file first. So you're going to go to get data right here, the toolbar. Then you're going to load Excel. So I already downloaded here my folder, so I'm going to use it. Let's make sure this is the Excel file because you don't open, a different file. There you go. O2, okay. I have a different version, so it may sound a little different, but exactly the same file. So I opened it. All right, then it'll ask you, it'll kind of confirm which one. The reason they're sharing two sheets it's not really sheets. One is the sheets and the file. The other is the Excel table. Because if you look at the data file, this one, this is from the Excel. Then we have Excel table, which you see that financials. That's the Excel table actually created from right here. So that is the same thing as the entire set. Okay. So just because, just in case, you save it as Excel table, to be sure, rather than including all those empty or blank stuff. So that's okay if you have Excel table that included in the Excel. So just probably better just choose the Excel table name, even though Excel sheet 1 is same thing, but you don't want to choose both because it may end up having twice, so just choose the financials, which is Excel table name, okay? Then just make sure click transform data rather than load right away so that we can check whatever problems, issues may have. Okay, so click transform data. There you go. That'll give you Power Query Editor, just like that. I cannot make it bigger, so that's fine. And we have how many? About 15 columns. So we have columns going all the way to the year, which is 2014 and 2013. Okay. So the thing we need to do is we need to check all those data are accurate, meaning the data type. Okay. So it says segment, which is government, whatever segment. But it makes sense just looking up right here, that's the data type. And you have country, product, and some are numbers, and make sure numbers are as actually number type, right here. So in Power BI, number indicates floating number, so it can have a decimal places, okay? And if you have an integer 64 type, that's the whole number. So you don't have any decimal places. So that's something you want to check just in case, right? So for example, manufacturing price right here. Where is it? Right, this one. Manufacturing price is just whole number, which is integer 64 type, which is okay, right? But sales, I think most of them don't have any decimal places, except this one has some decimal places, looks like, right? Yeah, which is units sold. So units sold is number, which is okay, right? Because this number type is just, floating number type, so that's fine. So that's something you want to check. For example, the year column, make sure it is a integer or whole number, right? Same thing, month is type. Month name actually type. But month number is integer, okay? So I think most likely it's no problem here, okay? So that's something you want to check every time you're trying to transform the data. So everything looks good, then you're going to just click close and apply so that this data file will be loaded onto Power BI. There you go. Loading. Okay. So we are back to the home, the Power BI home. Actually, this is home tab, right? Because it's table, they give you table tools tab right away. So we are in table view. I think in the direction says data view, but table view, which is the same thing. They used to be called data view, but the same thing, just table view. Okay. So you're in table view. So So here, that's what we're going to work on to create or to adjust or modify columns if you need it. So let me go back. I can go back and forth. All right, so that's, here you go. So we did that, transform, then we inspected the columns. Then we're going to insert new columns, which is, they call it a measure. So measure is kind of calculation in Power BI. So we're going to generate new column, just like Excel. If you recall Excel, you can insert new column and enter formula, combining, multiple cells, give a sum, average, sometimes just other kind of calculations. So that's what basically we're going to do. So we're going to create a measures calculation starting from right here, step 10, total sales equals. So if you right click on your data, then you have right here at the top, new measure. So that's what we're going to work on. Then you look up here, the formula bar, so that's where you're going to enter, for example, let me just copy that, which is quicker, I guess. Where'd it go? Right? Total sale. One thing we need to do here is, I think I forgot to do this. Probably I didn't mention here. Because, for example, if you look at this data, each column, somehow the year and then month number are, look at that, those two are kind of showing summarized indication, right? So I think we can change that because you don't want to add, you want to have a sum for the year, right? So I'm going to click this year, then I'm going to go here, properties, and I'm going to take it off, sum. So I'll just click don't summarize. Okay, you don't have to summarize the year column. Same thing for the month number. So that it's not making sense if you try to add a month. So I'm going to just do the same thing here. Don't summarize. Okay, so that's something I need to do. All right, so going back to measure, which was total sale right there. Sales. Okay, let me save it first. Okay. We have sales. Financial. Okay, next measure we're going to do is total profit. Then third one, total units sold. followed by profit percentage, which is total profit divided by total sales. Okay, so we have created those four measures, just like that. Profit margin, total profit, total sales, total units sold. Okay, so that's step up to step 13. Now we're going to create a report page. Okay, so we're going to go to the report view right there. Okay, it's giving you default pages number 1, then we just rename it. Executive overview, right? All right. So step 15, what we're going to do is we're going to add visuals. Okay. So visuals is more of kind of user interface you're going to build on. Right? So there's so many different visuals you can use. So on the visualization tab right here, charts and all kinds of other objects. So cards, which one is card? There are so many sometimes. This is card. No. This is card, right? Yeah. This is card, visual card. There you go. How many of them? 4. So I'm going to just make copy. Too many. There you go. Right? So you have the visuals, which is a card from this, visualization stuff. Then you're going to add which column you're going to add. You're going to put it on. So total sales, total profit, profit margin percent, total units sold, which is just created as measures previously. So total sales, profit, units sold, profit margin. Okay. So next thing you're going to do is you can adjust, you can, just place, enlarge, or just make it adjustment based on this desktop. Then add the charts. So next, that's the other visuals that we're going to add. So we're going to add a line chart, followed by bar chart, column chart, in matrix. Those 4 more items. So on line chart with month, name or date, total sale. So select that and select month, then total sale. Just like that. So it can be the year if you want it, because if you choose the year, you have only 2 years, so it's going to show only 2013 and 2014 instead. Okay. Then next one is bar with segment total sale. So what is bar? Bar segment total sale again. Just like that. Column, country, total profit. Column, country, total profit, right there. And now you're going to add a what they call matrix. That's again one of those stuff under visualization. So matrix. This one? Yeah, this one is matrix. There you go. And product discount band. What's product discount band? Then what? Total sale, total profit. Total sale, total profit. So as you just move over, those columns, it'll adjust it by itself. So which is pretty convenient. So that's the idea of using Power BI. There you go. Make it a little bit bigger. I guess need to go further. There you go. Just like that. So I think a little bit too busy because I have probably too many items. So I think you get the point. Okay, so one more thing, one more visual, which is slicer. Slicer, just like Excel had the slicers, which is the same idea. However, this slicer cannot be added to the dashboard, which is the summarized page at the end. It'll work only on this editor. You can say editor or report page, but you cannot add to the final product, which is dashboard, which is okay. So we're going to add year, country, segment with a slicer. Right here, slicer, 3 different sliders, button, input slicer, list slicer. It's same idea, but it slightly give you different, different look, if you will. I think it's too big over there. I need to squeeze in somewhere. Gee, I guess I make it too big. Okay, that's fine. Well, I just don't want to move, here and there, but I'll just add a slicer first. There you go. Stop. Slicer right there. That's for the ear, right? Where's my ear? There. Okay, so only 2 choices, 13 or 14. So that's a button slicer. We have also input slicer. Input slicer. You can use it count, country, there. So you can enter input. You can type it in, actually. Then it'll reflect whatever the country based on. Or you can make it list. So you can list all those countries. Because the font is too small and box is too small. That's why it doesn't show every words. Okay, so let's move up a little bit. Okay, so that's what I mean. Then you have one more, which is, let's just use input. The buttons for, what is it, segment. I think we have like 5 segments, so right there. Okay. So they are not comparable, slicers, but I just want to show different slicers. Button, lists, and what is this one? Yeah, this is button and this is the list. And this is also button, I guess. Yeah. So I should make it smaller for some of the, especially this one, I think it's a little bit too big. So that's something you want to work on, okay? Probably that's more taking more time. Work with this, arrangement, adjustment, because it's you want to make it a good size so that you can fit everything in. I think that's more time consuming than actually do the technical stuff. Okay. So that's the step 20, 21. And arrange. So you want to arrange cards, those cards up there, then chart in the middle, and sliders at the bottom or to the side. But it's really up to you. Okay. But I think people usually look at from left to right, top to bottom. So that's something you want to consider. The most important item should be shown at the top from left. And in step 24, using conditional formatting. Just like Excel conditional formatting, if you recall, so that you can highlight certain columns based on the conditions. You can do so in Power BI. For example, on this matrix. Is this our matrix? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Okay. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to highlight some of this number. And let's just make it a little bigger. Okay. I think it's already working. That's okay. So I select my matrix visual. Then I'm going to go to here, visualization, the value sections. I want to highlight total profit based on the significance of the number, meaning the higher number with a certain color, lower number to the lighter color. So higher number showing the kind of darker emphasis, and lower number will get a kind of lighter, shade, if you will. So right click on total profit, then you have conditional formatting. You can either work with font color or background. So maybe I choose background color so that I can make a shade. Here we go. Minimum number showing kind of lighter blue. Then highest number will show the darker blue. So let's try this one. As you can see here, the lighter shade indicate larger number. I mean the darker number. There you go. So that only applies to total profit. You can apply to total sales, same thing. Right click over conditional formatting background color. Then you can apply it if you need it. Okay. So that's what I mean by use conditional formatting. Okay. If you have any questions, let me know. Okay. You can stop me anytime. All right, so that was step 24, 25. So we're going to create another report page called product performance. So let's just click here, just like Excel sheets, create a new page, name it performance. Right? And we're going to add us at least two visuals, meaning, one of those objects here. Could be chart, could be like we applied cards, KPI, some important index. or I never used this one before. So narrative, goals, and all kinds of this stuff. That's typically we use charts. So let's just insert chart with sales by product. Okay. Then how about pie chart? Okay. Pie chart, maybe country. And what column we're going to use? Total sale, maybe. There you go. Okay. So that's the second page. Okay. Now you can add more if you need it. Again, you have all kinds of different visuals. All right. Then we're going to publish. Is that right? So that it is saved to the Power BI service so that you can produce the actual dashboard, which is a summarized product of Power BI. It's more like a print preview of Excel sheets, or you can say reports from database. Okay, so this is creating under on the report page, and the table view page is more like a creating your database, right? Then using SQL, SQL language, you're going to produce the final product, which is dashboard. Okay, so let's publish. Hopefully, I have done okay, pretty much. Yeah. So I'm going to click publish right here in the toolbar. I'm going to save the changes. Oh yeah. Then I have my folder already created, so I'm going to just click there. Then it's going to save it as a financial or 3 PBIX file. Okay, then we're going to open this guy. Then it'll open up on the web-based, which is right there. Step 29. So next step is we need to pin all these visuals, okay, meaning that now we're going to just kind of make a final layout to produce the report. Okay, even though you create it from Power BI, report page doesn't mean it's going to produce the onto final dashboard. You just select some or all of them. Okay, especially this guy. No, yeah, this slicers will not produce to the dashboard. It'll only work on report page. So only this visual stuff like this guy, cards and chart will be showing on the dashboard. So we need to pin it. So you just go over here, then it'll show, see that all those little icon bottom, so this pin, so that's you're going to click so that this will actually move up to the dashboard. It's going to produce the actual item to the dashboard. That's why you're going to save. So you need to save finally this by clicking pin. Same thing here. So that's what it says, pin to dashboard. I'm going to put it into new. We need to create a new one because I have a multiple of them. I'm going to name it as a dashboard, maybe 5. There you go. Same thing. You want to pin this guy, yes. 3. Come on, existing one, 5. Okay, next one, 5. Because kind of this one is overlapped, so I cannot click. So that's something you need to watch out when you work on the repo page. Okay. I think I already did 5. And these guys, again, the slashes cannot be pinned. I have second page, so probably I can pin these guys. Okay, pin. Then pie chart, pin. Okay, so once you pin those visuals, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to go back to home page, then open up your dashboard. Okay. Yeah, right there. Let's see what I can open from here. There you go. That's all BI home. Then I'm going to go my dashboards. Come on. Now I have so many items. Dashboard 5 right there. So that's the one I just saved. So I'm going to click my dashboard number 5. There you go. So that's the one-page final preview of your dashboard. Okay. So I think one of these cards was not pinned. So I show only two. Actually, 2 of them are not pinned. I show only these guys. Then I have 3 charts, and I have pie chart. That's from the second page, if you recall. So one thing you can do is from here, you can just click, for example, one of these guys, then you'll go back to your, report page. So that's your dashboard. Again, this is supposed to be one page, printout of your Power BI. And of course, you can make this as an application so that you can put up to any interface, for example, portals and other places. So that's where you can save it as, you can go back to your Power BI. I think we're going to go back to here. And you're going to save it as a application from here. So that's the next step if you want to generate as an application. Okay. So again, I didn't do it cleanly, but that's the idea. So. Any question?
The other part, will you post this recording?
Oh yeah, sure.
Okay.
I think somebody have a question. Oh, okay. Let me know if you want me repeat any step or if you missed any steps. So basically, it's not that difficult, as you can see. It's not like a Tableau. Tableau has a pretty high learning curve, but Power BI, of course, you can have a more advanced steps you can do with the Power BI using like a DAX. DAX is again kind of script-based, formula generating formulas and all that. So any question and comments?
Dr. Clark, on the second page, on a Fort View product, product performance, that list of sales by product, profit by product, all that, is that already in there? Or is that something we've got to create?
Which one are you talking about?
Step 25.
25? Just a second. Okay. 25. So that's what it says. You create 2 visuals out of those 4. Okay, so you can create this 2 or other, whatever combination of 2 visuals. So actually it doesn't have to be this, as long as you can create visuals from here. Could be bar chart, pie chart, map, even, any of those visual you generate just like I have done here in the second page. Making sense? Yeah, I understand. There's anytime you work on new application, it's not easy. But that's the whole point of, doing this course. That's something we try to use something new and learn and see whether we can actually apply. And many places they use Power BI, so